Welcome to our Energy Connect studio at ADIPEC 2022. I'm delighted to have sitting next to me Sami Iskander, Petrofacs Group Chief Executive.
Thank you, it's a pleasure to be here.
Really appreciate you making the time out of this busy first day of ADIPEC to come down.
No, thank you, it really is a pleasure to be with you.
Now, Petrofac has been present in the UAE for decades. In many ways, this is your home turf. How significant then is ADIPEC to you and also the UAE market?
Listen, I think, many people know us, but we are a PLC, so we're a UK registered company. But the UAE has been home, and really when I get asked by all our investors, they always ask me about the business we run here. We've been present in this country for over 30 plus years now, so quite a long time. I think we've coined the phrase of in-country value long before this was anything that people spoke about. So we've developed the supply chain here. We work, a lot of what we build is in country, local employees, local supply chain and so on. So the UAE is very, very important for us. And of course, ADIPEC is very, very important for us. We know we've been present for, again, I can't tell you how long, probably 20 plus years now, maybe close to 25 years that we participated. And I think this year is a quite an important year. I mean, energy is at the top of the agenda for everybody, whether we have too much of it or too little of it or different types or whatever. I think Dr. Sultan said it really well this morning, you know, more energy, more growth, more sustainable energy. We're about a week or so away from COP27 in Egypt. And I think, you know, some of the themes that we're discussing today around the sustainability, the security, the affordability of energy are really important. So it's great to be here, and I'm really looking forward for the 3 days.
Great, Samuel. Well, that's really good to hear. And you know, as you mentioned there, the energy landscape is changing, and there's a lot of discussions about the energy trilemma. What approach is Petrofac taking to support customers to meet the current demand for secure, affordable energy while transitioning to this lower carbon future that...
You know, I think the word transition is an important one. It is a transition, it's not a lobotomy. And I think this is the issue that, you know, we as a society have. People think the energy transition is tomorrow. The energy transition is today, but it's going to take us decades. And it's very, very important that we balance, the message and what we're doing about it, because hydrocarbons are here to stay, because we will not have the quality of life we have without hydrocarbons. Now we need to produce these hydrocarbons responsibly. We need to be investing in things like carbon capture. We need to low carbon with gas or otherwise, but hydrocarbons are here to stay. Now a company like Petrofac, the way I would call it is we're market takers, not market makers. We're a service company that serves our customers, be it ADNOC or otherwise, you know, customers around the world. And I think when it comes to low carbon, the sustainable, the low cost, etc., I think I'll divide the answer into really 4 parts. When we're talking about greenfield, so these are new plants we're building, we have taken a commitment on our Scope 1, Scope 2 that will be net zero by 2030. But more importantly, we're taking a commitment on Scope 3, which is how can we work the supply chain to provide the customer, to make the offering to the customer of a low carbon footprint plant. So working with like-minded subcontractors, whether in cement or steel, so we can have the lowest carbon footprint possible. In brownfield, so that's the second point, is working with our customers around how can we limit emissions, reduce emissions, be a better operator and get uptime better. And that again will lower the carbon footprint. And then thirdly, we are working a decommissioning offering. So helping our customers decommission. So using our wells facility, our expertise in building plants to decommission old fields safely, and many of these old fields will become sequestration sites. So that's another element. And fourth and last is our investment in new energies, where we're working around wind, hydrogen, waste to value, and CCS. So making a specific offering around that.
That's interesting. Actually, on that last point, I mean, I think one of the keys, isn't it, is to find the right technology to unlock this energy transition. And you know, you mentioned there CCS and hydrogen. So what approach is Petrofac taking in sort of the new energies?
You know, I think technology is it's imperative, of course. But so are people, so are processes, so are investments, which have been lacking and still lacking, and so is government policy. So I think, and then I'd add technology. And I think if it comes to technology, we adopt a technology neutral approach. So, we're working on multiple CCS projects.
Yep.
We're using competing technology. And it's not because of the competition. We're using, what Petrofac's DNA is to use the best technology for the best application, which generally comes from different suppliers. So I think, I'd like to continue adopting a technology-neutral approach. What differentiates us is our ability to build in the UAE.
Yep.
So whatever technology we're integrating, we're using UAE supply chain, we're using UAE yards, and we're building these facilities and then transporting them to Europe. So this is really a bit of the differentiation that we offer versus others in the field.
Interesting. And just before we go, you mentioned obviously after ADIPEC, we've got about a week and a bit till COP in Sharm el-Sheikh, and then obviously COP will come to the UAE in 2028. But I think you talked there about government policies and the importance of trying to get their involvement and trying to get a right vision forward. How important is that?
I think it's extremely important. You don't have to listen to me. I think what you have to listen to is Antonio Gutierrez of the United Nations. He mentioned that if we continue current policies, this was about a week ago or maybe even less than a week ago, if we continue on the current track, we'll end up at 2.5 or 2.8. And that means disaster for our children and grandchildren, floods, extreme weather. So we have to do something. And I think the world has been, I don't want to say it's all been talk, but the time of implementation is now.
Okay. Well, let's see how it develops next week. And also, you've got 4 more days of ADIPEC. So I hope you have a great rest of the show, good conversations. And thanks again, Sami, for popping down.
No, thank you, and thank you for the conversation.